British children are being targeted by migrants, and if we just take a look at the headlines just from today, you can clearly see we aren't exaggerating. The first one, a Muslim who sat on a bench in a playground in Tipton, United Kingdom, sat with his trousers around his knees, exposed and himself whilst watching children. A mother who spoke to the sick guy said, "I saw this man literally staring at my children. The closer I got, I realized he was sat there, fully exposed. I told him to cover himself up, and he said no. I called him a dirty bastard, and he said he didn't care. Why do we have to put up with these dirty people, and it is happening more and more? Disgusting." And this is just one example. Let's take a look at another. Three brothers assaulted a girl beginning when she was 12. Amar Alias reportedly brandished a firearm and gave the victim a cigarette laced with drugs before assaulting her. Four other women were similarly piled with drugs and threatened before being assaulted by the brothers. The National Crime Agency stated Amar Kamar and Cameron Elias remorselessly terrorized vulnerable girls from Rotherham and Sheffield. Now, those names to me don't sound very British whatsoever, but this is all happening in the United Kingdom. This story is shocking as well. Breaking: horror on an EasyJet flight as a man tries to assault a young girl. 38-year-old Ramiz Idrizi drank 5 bottles of alcohol on the plane before shouting, "I'm horny," and he tried to touch the young girl. The flight was on November 14 from Paris to Belfast, and Ramiz has since been charged with multiple offences, including attempted assault of a child under the age of 13. Guys, this is happening every single day in the UK, and even in the sky from countries involving the UK and people that live in the UK that aren't British whatsoever. Have a look at this clip where in Liverpool we see a migrant man confronted after he was allegedly taking pictures of these guys' children.
Yeah, you sitting there on his phone sideways before him.
What are you taking pictures of kids for? What are you... What? Hey, it's one of them things. Hey, what are you taking pictures of kids for, lads? It's one of them. Hey, it's one of them. Hey, what are you...
Afterwards, I'm sure a lot of you will be glad to know he was beaten by these men because they saw him taking pictures of their children. But the worst part about this situation in the UK is the fact that the police do absolutely nothing, and in fact, they actually stick up for these individuals. Have a watch.
I find it offensive, yeah, that the British government can house these people for free while there's other people on the streets. Yeah, I find that offensive.
Let me just tell you something.
I find it offensive.
Let me just tell you a little something.
And let me just
I've dealt with a few migrants, okay,
yeah,
that are seeking asylum.
Yeah.
And when you get to know them, you go into their story, yeah, and realise what their story is from where,
yeah,
the countries that they've fled from.
Yeah.
Maybe
allegedly fled from.
Well,
yeah,
maybe you'd change your perspective on it.
Well, not everybody's honest with the police, are they?
Because there's some really nice people in there that have been through things that we have never seen.
Why would you deal with them though? Why would you have dealings with them if it wasn't criminal matters?
Community engagement.
So why
community police officers.
Why don't you do community engagement with us?
The absolute cheek of a policeman to tell you to change your perspective when we see headlines like this every single day, and when we see clips like I'm about to show you every single day.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yo. Get off, bro. What happened to you? What happened to you, bro? Get off. Get out.
Clearly, the police weren't present there, but also they weren't present in this next clip. Have a watch.
He's getting it out.
Yeah, it's still got. Yeah, they will.
And do you know what makes these clips even more ridiculous and these headlines even more scary is that recently a Keir Starmer video has gone viral on social media. It's an old video, but it's him before he was Prime Minister speaking about the failures basically of the Conservative government to stop illegal immigration and basically hyping himself up and his party up, telling the British people exactly what he would do and how he would send these people back to their own countries. But very clearly we haven't seen that. Have a watch.
Deportation of illegal immigrants is a physical process.
Yeah.
They arrive with no passports, so the process can't really begin. It's going to be long drawn out, but they are illegal immigrants into this country. If it is a physical process, what are the Labour Party going to do to actually deport these people, and where to?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put the staff back in the returns unit. I'll make sure that we've got planes going off, not to Rwanda, because that's
Where are they gonna go?
That's an expensive gimmick. They will go back to the countries where people come from. That's what used to happen.
Where are they?
40
I mean, it's so hard to do.
Well, at the moment, people know that if they get here, they're basically here for life.
Well, that's what
because
you
they're
said,
not being processed.
The problem is,
no, hear me out, Harry. This is really important. Tens of thousands of people are here, not processed. They're here for life.
They arrive and they have destroyed their passports and identification documents, so they cannot be processed.
Yeah.
So where are you going to send them to if you don't know where they've come from?
At the moment, some of them are processed.
well, some of them. Well, I'm going to give you a stat. Let me give you a stat.
So that clip was about just over a year old before Keir Starmer was Prime Minister, and from what we've seen of what his government's done to stop illegal immigration, we can now clearly analyse that video and say he's talking out his arse. But guys, it isn't just the UK that is clearly blessed with these doctors and engineers, because they are all over Europe and they are causing chaos wherever they go. I mean, have a look at this next clip. It's honestly unbelievable.
Hij gaat nu op zijn auto staan. Hij trapt nu zijn eigen ruit kapot. Zo.
But it is clear that these people are targeting children, and it is honestly disgusting. But guys, let me know your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video. As always, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to the channel, because the mainstream media simply won't show you this. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye. If you want to support what I do on this channel, you can become a channel member for £4.99 a month, where you will receive a loyalty badge and exclusive members only content. Thank you to all the recent members on this channel.